Hey guys, what's going on and welcome to Season 2 of the Watford rebuild. If you guys are enjoying this rebuild so far, be sure to leave a like on this video and do comment below on what you're enjoying and also some players you want to see signed for Watford. And definitely do consider subscribing to the YouTube channel as well. So to kick things off, we have been given £60 million to spend. Quite a hefty chunk, but we have just come up from the Championship to the Premier League. So in my opinion, fairly deserved. But we've got one player right off the bat who I'm pretty sure you know we're going to go for. That is going to be Keenan Davis. Now, this guy is absolutely sensational in terms of attributes. 34 appearances and 29 goals for us. So, again, you can't really go wrong. £18 million is an absolute steal. As always, we're going to try and go in a little bit cheeky and offer 10. I'm happy to do that. 19 million. If we can lower that to like 18, possibly. 21. Okay. 20. 20 million. And not obviously a lot of it being paid up front. Now, we've just got to hope that he is going to be pretty happy coming here. He should be, because he was playing with us. Obviously, he has just gone back to a proven Premier League side, but it doesn't mean that he is going to get a shot in the main team. So hopefully we can go in and sort of convince him to join. So yes, he is buzzing. He wants to join. He's interested. He is going to be a star player, and let's talk money. Now, we can tweak this slightly. Okay, a little bit more then. So let's try and cut this down a little bit because we don't want it to get too greedy. So 2 million, I'm happy to pay. He earns 68k now, so I'm pretty sure we can lower this as well to about 76, and he should be happy. He should be happy. That's fine. That's what I like to see. He is 25 years of age, by the way, so he's not like a youngster, but he is very, very good. So that should be him in the club. So we're going to use the new feature, actually, and we're going to use the squad planner. And we're going to see where we need to strengthen. So goalkeepers, we've got 2. Quite a decent one as well for the starting in the Premier League. Right backs, we've got good options. Gaspar, Nakakia, obviously decent options. Centre backs, we're quite well balanced. We've got 4. Possibly could bring in a slightly better one. Left backs, we don't have 1. Seamer. We definitely need a left back then. We definitely need a left back. Okay. Midfield. Yeah, we've got quite a good midfield, to be honest. Definitely, well, we could at least bring in one slightly better quality player. Up here, we've got a couple of players as well. Midfield is looking where we could definitely improve on. The right-hand side, we've got Kalu, we've got Sarr. The left-hand side, again, possibly we could do with someone. And striker, obviously, we've just filled that position. So mainly midfield and left back is the aim. So we've been scouted this player here. Obviously, I'm a Manchester United fan, so I'm very familiar with him. And that is going to be Brandon Williams. So I feel like he could get into the team quite comfortably. He can play pretty much the same standard left and right back. He's actually quite good as well. 4-star potential ability, 14 tackling, and reasonably quick as well. So it has good bravery and good determination. Valued as well at around 11 million to 16 million, 22 years of age. And this is a player who I think could be a good option for us. So we're going to go in and start initially with 7.5 million. I'm happy with that, but also we're going to try and do better. So we're going to remove this and rock with a 12. And they're happy with it. Now, he might be a little bit annoyed about coming. No, he is fine. He's got a lot of interest in him, though. So we are going to try and hopefully, I'm fine with the pay rise. We'll try and convince him to join us instead of the others with what works best. Money. Relegation release clause is fine. I understand that. I don't really want that in there. We'll lower that. We'll up this a little bit. He's currently on 50k a week. So we're going to lower that a little bit. We're going to go with 70. A bit of a pay rise for coming here. And we'll lower that to 3 and see what he says. Oh, okay. He really wants that in there. To be honest, we'll change this to like 30, because then if anyone does pay that, they can pay it. But we're going to lower this down to 3.5, and we'll lower this down. We'll keep that at 80, and we'll see. Fine. That's completely fine, because if anyone does pay, obviously, 30 million for him, it's a tiny bit of profit. We're going to guarantee to have him for a season. And now we have got a very good left back. Hopefully, if he accepts, joining Watford. So, unfortunately, Brandon Williams has decided to go to Everton. So, it's back to the drawing board for a left back. We're not going to give up there because we are now going to go over to Norwich and we're going to try and pick up Sam McCallum. Now, this guy, again, 22 years of age, current ability around the 3-star mark, potential at 4, good tackling, reasonably quick as well, reasonably tall. And to be honest, again, he can't play on the right like Brandon Williams could, but this guy could be a good player. So we're going to make a very generous offer of around 7.5 as always. They've come back. They want 17. I'm not willing to pay 17. I would like to try and get him for around about the 14 mark if possible. So we're going to tone this down, tone it up a little bit. And we're going to go for around about, we'll go with 14 is a fair offer. 14 million. And they've accepted it. So that's completely fine. He is quite an advanced fullback as well. He's happy to join. So we'll see what his demands are. And they're a lot better. I don't want this in here if I can avoid it. Hopefully he's fine. He's also asking for a lot of a pay rise. We'll tone that down to around 50 and he's happy. Brilliant. So as long as this guy accepts and no last minute changes, that is going to be a left back brought in. We're now going to look to strengthen that slightly deeper area midfield in the box to box by bringing in Jacob Madare from Brighton, or Jacob Madare from Brighton, for £15 million, hopefully around that figure. He looks very good, very well rounded, nearly a 4-star ability player, the potential to get to 4.5 star. He's extremely interested and he's very, very highly ranked by the scout. So we're going to have a look at him. Ideally, £10 million to start. Okay, right, we can work with this. I knew it's going to cost a little bit, but if we can get this down to 20, I am more than happy to play ball. And 20 million, perfect. Now, does he want to join? Because it is a bit of a downgrade for it. It's perfect. Perfect. So let's talk to him and hopefully we can get him to join. That wage is fine. Can we lower that a little bit? Oh, we'll lower that to, we'll be cheeky. We'll try 1.6. The relegation release clause is fine, because I really don't think we're going to get relegated. If we do, I'm in no position to hold players at ransom. And he's completely fine with it. So hopefully that can be a third player brought in. Obviously, the 2 players that I did talk about are in, which we can see here. We're going to transfers. It's going to be, oh no, transfer history. It's going to be Davis and McCallum right here. So hopefully this guy joins as well, and that'll be 3 players brought in. Right, we've got another target in mind, and this player is purely to give us more depth in that midfield area, slightly more advanced, and also can play on the right, and that is going to be Cole Palmer. Now, I've gone with him, 1, because he's scouted very highly. He's got good attributes. He can also grow a little bit. He's only 21, and I've used him in previous FMs, and I've really enjoyed him. So we're going to go. We've got around, how much have we got left? We've got around about 20 million. So if we start off with 10 million, we can obviously, okay, let's back out of that because that is an absolute joke. This is going to be the transfer window done. Now, as you can imagine, we've spent a lot of money. We've spent around 50 million. Not all of the money we've got, but to be honest, we can't really get anything else. We've got some players that won't join because we've just come into the Premier League, which is understandable. So I'm happy to go into the Premier League first season with this side, with the addition of Keenan Davis, Sam McCallum, and Jacob Madare. Now, in terms of the tactics, we're going to stick with my tactic again. So the starting lineup is going to be Bashman or Backman, Nakakia, Seratara. I always get blamed for not pronouncing names right. I do apologise. Kabasili. Okay, I am butchering that like mad. I know I am. Basil, McCallum, Madare, Lauza, Sarr, Asprilla, João Pedro, and Davis up top. Got quite a good, fairly decent bench as well. Obviously not world class, but more than enough, I think, to keep us up in the Premier League. And that is the main aim, is to purely be survivors of the Premier League. So let's get this season done and simulated, and hopefully I come back to a team that remains in the Premier League. So, Season 2 has been simulated, and I am absolutely thrilled with how it's gone. I did not think by any means of the imagination we were going to finish in 8th place. I thought it was going to be quite a tough one towards the bottom end of the table. It's going to be Nottingham Forest, Leicester actually going down, and Blackburn. Now, this does look negative because obviously it's all red, as it would be. We were not expecting to do anything in Europa League this season. The Cups, again, we went out against decent sides. And the Community Shield, we lost against Manchester City, obviously the best team in the game. But the actual stats of the players, so we were the 3rd best in the entire league, and we finished 8th, by the way, at scoring goals. Now, the weakness was definitely the goals conceded, so we are going to look to possibly strengthen one of the centre-backs if we can afford it, and also look to possibly bring in a better defensive-minded midfield player, and probably switch this centre-mid to more of like a defensive ball-winning midfielder or a deep-line playmaker. So we're going to do that now, actually, quickly. Put him as a deep-line playmaker, just so there is another sort of defensive option in this team. But going forward, we seem very, very strong and very, very good. But Let's go into the squad then. So goals, we've got to have 35 coming from Keenan Davis. So he is definitely not an issue. 25 for Sarr, 22 for João Pedro. Then there is a bit of a drop-off. So possibly we could look to bring in some more sort of creative sort of midfield players. So especially the likes of a Skrilla having quite a disappointing season, I believe then. Not the best at all, actually. Not too happy with that. A decent amount of assists, but could definitely do a little bit better in that area. In terms of assists, we've got 17 for McCallum, our left back of all people. So great season for him. 16 for Jacob Madea, obviously the midfielder that we did decide to bring in. 11 for Skrilla, which I would expect a little bit better, to be honest. 9 assists coming in for Quina, and then it does drop off a little bit. Luisa does come in with 8, though, to be fair, and then a sort of 7, 7, 5, and 5. The top performers, average match rating is going to be, he's literally played 2 appearances. I'm going to give it to a Skrilla, who actually, average rating is the highest, which does surprise me, but maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh with him. Let me know in the comments if you think I'm being too harsh with him. But in terms of the budgeting, now that is something, first off, let's look at the schedule. That's something we've got to do. So we'll go over it. I'm seeing some heavy losses here, but also some big wins. I mean, that is against a team that should be winning. Chelsea 5-1, by the way. 5-2 against Leeds. These 2 are expected. 3-1 against Leicester, a good result. I'm looking for any shock ones. Decent result there against Chelsea and Fulham back-to-back. Good result against Porto. Chelsea, again, sort of, being able to... Chelsea don't really... They can't cope with us. 3-3 against Palace. 2-1 against Villa. 2-2 Newcastle. Fiorentina, quite a good attacking side. 3-0 against Norwich. Arsenal, quite expected. We're losing games that we do expect to be losing, to be honest, and also causing a few upsets. I don't know if you guys agree. 1-0 against Southampton, 2-2 against Spurs, 3-2 against Everton. Any ones that really do stand out? 5-2 against Blackburn, 3-1, 2-2, 2-1, 3-0, 4-0. Any shock ones in there? Not really, to be honest. I mean, so far, there's not a game which I've seen, unless I'm being blind, which I've looked at and I'm like, oh, wow, we actually lost that. Even Sporting are quite a good side. Man City there. Possibly could have picked up a few more points at the end of the season, because how close were we? Yeah, we were literally a point off, so that is something we could have improved on, I guess, then. Right here, we could have done with winning one of these to at least get into the European spot. But to be honest, there's part of me that's quite happy we didn't, because it gives me another season to not worry about another competition. We can literally focus on improving the team and then getting ready to play Europa League and see where we can go from there. But in terms of finances, we have got £69 million. Now, we are definitely going to look... Obviously, we're not going to show that in this episode, because this is purely about... Or this episode, this part of the video, because this is purely about breaking down how the season has gone. But we are going to have, what did I say, 69 million to spend. And we're going to try and bring in possibly another centre-back, because obviously this player is very, very good, but he is 33 years of age. Possibly, to be fair... We've got quite good midfielders, but possibly bring in someone who's a little bit more out there than a Skrilla. A Skrilla is good, but now we are in the Premier League and we're trying to push on and get into European football, and a Skrilla can only take you so far. In terms of strikers, I am possibly bringing... I mean, how's this guy looking? He's okay. He's okay. Possibly look to bring in a better backup striker, because I don't want to sell Davis or not, just bench him, because he's just been the top goal scorer. I mean, the guy has got... You look at him here, it's not a bad return at all. 47 games and 35 goals is not bad for this sort of level at all. But overall, I am very happy with how this has gone, to be fair. A little look into the data hub. Team attacking, 2.18. And this is where it's going to be annoying. Yeah, this is the issue. We're leaking goals at the back. And that is a mixture, I think, of a defence that needs work and also possibly going in to attacking. Definitely to attacking. Having 2 centre midfielders on support, not having at least one that is defensive. I might also consider switching this fullback here to a sort of support role. Obviously, he did get a lot of assists, though, so but we'll keep it like that, because this guy did contribute a lot, and we'll just keep Nakakia there on the support role. But overall, not too gutted with how this has gone, to be fair. Obviously, we definitely could have improved in some areas. There's not really a game... It would be nice to look at one game, though, wouldn't it, before we end the video? What about that one against... where was it? It was up here. I mean, a 2-0 win against City, but we watched City last time. Let's watch this 5-1 win against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup 3rd round. I bet they were playing quite a weak team, though, but we'll still watch it. It's good to see some goals. I mean, they are playing some weaker players, but it's still a very, very good team. We'll watch the goals from this because there's going to be 6 goals to watch, so we may as well watch a game. It's always good. I do apologise if you can hear me sort of bunged up, by the way. I'm feeling rather ill, but got to get the content out. That is the promise I give to you guys. So, Basil with the ball into Lauza, into Esprilla. All over the top into João Pedro. Good touch and a hit. And that is why I'm so keen on keeping this guy. He is in front of goal. This guy is deadly. On the left-hand side, in the centre, this guy can do it all. And that is a good touch. And it's an easy finish. The defendant isn't as good as what I'd like to see there. Very complacent. It's going to be us in the second half, though. Sarr into Lauza, taking his time. Back into Nkakia. Ball into the box. Into Quina. Into McCallum. And it's McCallum that comes up all the way from left-back to get a goal, which does actually put us 2-1 up. It's then going to be a set piece come into the box, and it's poor. It's poor from Kepa. He has to be doing better there, in my opinion. It's Sarr again here with the ball on the right-hand side. Ball into Quina. Taking his time with the ball here. Chelsea very lackluster. Into Davis, and it's into the far left corner, and it's an easy finish. And that is going to put us what would be 4-1 up. The last goal of the game, Quina had one hell of a game here, by the way. João Pedro cuts the ball back by the looks of it into McCallum. Wonder ball into the box into Sarr. And that is a wonder ball in. And it's beautiful from Sarr. Great position. And you noticed he slightly run away from the defender there. Got in a pocket of space. And it's an easy goal. And it was a game we by far deserved to win. We dominated everything apart from possession. So very happy to actually show you that, because we saw quite some good quality goals. And overall, a very good season. I'll probably rate it. I'm a little bit gutted we didn't get... No, I'm not too gutted about Europa. I can't be too gutted. A little bit of me is, but overall, very good. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. And if you guys have enjoyed this video, please do leave a like on the video. It means so much to me. And do subscribe to the channel. But that is going to be it for me today, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.